Alright, we are going to talk about variables and expressions. So make sure you read all these and memorize these. A variable is a symbol used to represent an unspecified number or value, like x and y, what we're going to use mostly in this class. Here are some examples. 6x, x is the variable, 4y, y is a variable, so those are unknown quantities, we don't know those yet. The term could be a number, variable, product, or a quotient. So all of these are terms. That's a term, that's a term, that's a term. So those are all different terms. More than or less than, the first term mentioned usually goes after. So this is a common mistake. So when I say 8 less than a number, it's x minus 8. So you don't write it exactly how it's written. If I say what's 8 less than 20, you would say that's 12. But if you write 8 minus 12, you'll get it wrong. So remember, more than or less than, the first term goes afterwards. Quotient, product, sum, and difference. These often require parentheses. Remember that a quotient is the answer to a division problem. Product is the answer to a multiplication. So the reason it has to be in parentheses is because you want to get that answer before you do something else with it. So when you see these, you'll often use parentheses, and even if you use parentheses and you didn't have to, you're not going to get it wrong. So it's always better to do that just to be safe. Here are your operations, and here are the key words. One other thing that sometimes is not given is less to mean subtraction. So common mistakes that we see are adding parentheses when needed, like I said. So in this case, this is not the same as this. In this case, I must subtract before I multiply. Here you multiply, then you subtract. And then also, like I said earlier, 7 less than a number is x minus 7. 7 minus x is a number less than 7, so make sure you pay attention to that. So looking at our first example, number 1, it says 8 more than 2 times a number. So I remember when it says more than or less than, I'm going to put that at the end. So I'm going to put plus 8. 2 times a number, so that's going to be 2 n, because we don't know the number. I could use x or any other variable, but I'm going to use n. So there's my first one. It's 8 more than 2 times a number. Number 2. The product of 8 and a number squared minus 6. Okay, so I see product. That's one of the things that I said. It often requires parentheses. So I'm going to put something in parentheses even if I don't need it. I need to remember to put that in. The product of 8 and a number squared. So I'm multiplying 8 times a number squared. So I'm going to put n to the second power, which is squared. Do not put a multiplication sign between those. Put them right next to each other just like I did. 8n squared. So this is the product of 8 and a number squared, and then minus 6. Number 3. The difference of 8 and a number multiplied by 3. So once again, I see difference. So I know I'm probably going to put something in parentheses. So I'm going to go ahead and make my parentheses so I don't forget. The difference of 8 and a number. Difference is the answer to a subtraction problem. So I put 8 minus n. And then that is multiplied by 3. And it's really best to put it at the front, but if you put it at the end, probably wouldn't count it wrong, but make sure you put it at the front. So this is the difference, I use parentheses, of 8 and a number multiplied by 3. And then the last one, number 4, seems simple, but this one will be missed frequently. 9 less than a number. So remember, if it's that, you put the first term last. If you want to figure out what 9 less than a number is, you subtract 9 from the number. So it's n minus 9. It's not 9 minus n.